Hey everyone, it's Michael with one mic out, and I've let a couple days go by just after learning about Iryna Zarutska's I hope I said that right. Learning about the murder that happened back in August, which we say back in August, which wasn't even that long ago. We're essentially just a little over a week into September, and who was murdered by a career criminal who had been released 12 times and by leftist idealist judges, and in a system in a city that is a blue city, and they've used cashless bail, and no one being held accountable. These things happen all the time. If you see the videos, though, and I say they happen all the time, they happen very frequently, where a young woman is getting murdered by a male, and for whatever reason, whether there's motive or there's not. There's senseless killings. There's motiveless killings. What makes this one unique is it's caught on video, and you get to see a deranged human being, a monster of a human being, and I don't even dare to call him mentally ill or insane, just a deranged person who has probably been conditioned by the leftist media and the race baiting that was brought back to the spotlight during the Obama years, and that's all the America can seem to talk about, or leftist media can talk about, is white versus black. And that is the ongoing problem, and that's the only way to keep us divided, is by creating this race war, this manufactured, fabricated race war. And it's not going to stop, because people, who are raised in a certain poverty level, who are dependent on handouts from the government and from their local government, are going to tend to vote the way that their local government tells them. And sadly, these areas are predominantly people of color in these areas. And, look at Chicago, D.C., Minneapolis, New York. You get a lot of these inner cities. It's that. And yes, there is a broken system. But if you look at the driving force behind all of this, it's always been the blue. It's always been the Democrat. It's always been, you can't name one Republican-led city where the demographic has such a stark contrast between the lower class being predominant and comprised of a certain race, versus the upper class being comprised of another race. Where in Democrat cities, yes, you can see this. There's a clear divide. The Mark Cubans of the world who say we need to help Ukraine, but he never gave one dime of his own dollars to help Ukraine. You got the billionaires and the millionaires, of these blue thinking idealist, leftist Democrat people, who don't live up to the values that they try to say that you should live up to. And it's just a manipulative, coercing strategy and tactic from the left to get your buy-in, to get you to want to live the way that they say you should live, but that they don't abide by. They don't themselves live by that. Seeing this young woman get murdered the way that she did, and this piece of absolute shit, who should 100% not get the death penalty and die 20 years from now. He should die 48 hours from now. There is no defense. There is no, you are caught. You are caught red-handed, literally red-handed. And these types of crimes should be put to death immediately. Other crimes that are not caught on camera like this, where you have to, I get it. You want to go through an appeals process and whatnot once found guilty, because there's been cold cases. There's been cases where the wrong person was charged. But in this case, there's no arguing against it. Who did the killing, who the murderer was, what weapon they used. And there's no getting to the bottom of it. Let's tear down his mind and find out where society failed him or anything. That he needs to just die right now and be put to death, capital punishment. And luckily, the Trump administration filed federal charges against him to make him qualify for the death penalty. But the look on her face, that's the most, like, and if you watch, I didn't watch the full video, But the look on her face, I saw a still of her looking up like, what the hell just happened? Because she bled out. She didn't know what had happened at first until, once you hit that artery, you're done. 90 seconds and you're gone. And it's it's something that is, since it was caught on camera, caught on tape. These are things that have happened over and over and over again in this country. And people are saying, oh, we got this problem. We have this problem and that problem. It's the media. It is 1000% the media's fault. And it's these judges who are these activist judges who are letting these career criminals out. You get them sneaking illegal criminals or illegal aliens and criminals through their back judges' quarters so they can escape ICE. This is the world we live in right now, the country we live in, and it's not going to change. And my outrage doesn't do anything to fix the problem. Your outrage isn't going to do anything to truly fix the problem. The only way to fix the problem is to see through the media's bullshit. And to finally wake up and look and realize they don't have our best interest at hand. The media is entertainment. It's 24/7, and they're wanting you to constantly watch their content. That means it's entertainment. That means it's fabricated. That means it's scripted. That means that they're telling you what to wear and what to eat and what to buy and what to drive and what drugs you should put in your body and what drugs you shouldn't put in your body and this and that. That's the media's, that's their whole role. It's to get you to do what they want you to do. And it's, the only way that we're going to combat that is by saying no. No, enough's enough, not believing them, letting the loud voices, again, those loud voices who they keep yelling and yelling and yelling. But once they start falling upon deaf ears, those voices will go silent. And, the Don Lemons of the world will get ousted, and things like that. But this is just something that this is 1000% a product of the Obama administration. When they started in on, we can bring back the whole race card again, in terms of, where everyone at the time, we were so united after 9/11, which here we're just a few days out from 9/11, 24th anniversary of it. And we were so united as a country, and they saw that like, ooh, we can't have that. And so in came Obama. And ever since then, Democrats have, again, they remember the hypocrisy of, them being against illegal immigration coming up across the southern border and things. And then they flip flop. Gay marriage, they were against gay marriage, and then they flip flop because they just see votes. And when are you going to realize and recognize that that's all that matters is votes? This isn't a Trump debate. This isn't a Biden debate. This isn't anything. But I'll tell you, when this all started, this mindset, this sickness really started to infect Americans, and it was during the Obama years. And I don't care what you have to say. If there's so many people just blinded by what side they've chosen of the aisle they've chosen to be on, and you can't appeal to those people. And it's just they're gonna hold on to their team no matter what, because why? A lot of them can't even tell you why. The media told them to. Their professors at school told them to, their clergy members told them to, and this is what happens. You get these career criminals, and in Auburn up in Alabama, and you had another career criminal, black man, kill a white woman with a damn, I think, machete or hatchet, hacked her death. She was a professor at Auburn. This was happened last week, and then this, a black on white crime, but yet, if it was the other way around, like George Floyd of the world, that's the difference between the right and the left. Is the left looks for any opportunity that they have to showcase and to placate to their own kind. I mean, and it's disgusting in terms of, we're going to prop up the Mike Browns and the George Floyds of the world, and cause that, and say that they're heroes and they're this and that, when they're absolute pieces of shits that deserved what happened to them. And they put themselves in that situation. This girl did not. She sat on a damn train. Now, should she have enacted some sort of stereotyping? That probably would have saved her life. When she sat down, or I don't know who sat down first. Should she have chosen skin color and gone, I don't want to sit in front of this guy because he looks like a criminal. then what would have people said about her? Like, oh, she was racist, like, oh, she didn't want to, well, she would have got up and left and whatever, but instead she sits there, no big deal, and thinking she's safe on a damn subway or on a train and gets murdered. Like, at what point do you start to look at discretion and go, you know what, because there's good black people, there's bad black people, there's good white people, there's bad white people, there's good Latinos, there's bad Latinos, there's everywhere, every race has their bad apples and their good apples. But you can look, and I can tell who a piece of shit white dude is. I can tell who a piece of shit Latino is. I can tell you who a piece of shit black dude is. I don't care what race they are, but I can use my own ojos, my own eyes, and tell you and go, I'm not going to get near that person because that person looks like trouble. And I could be 1,000% wrong, but I'm going to err on the side of my own judgment versus, well, I don't want to be canceled, or I don't want this or that, or I want to be viewed as being a racist because of I'm making a judgment call that is a protective judgment call for myself and my family and my friends. This girl, unfortunately, thought she was safe, and society let her down, and she was a Ukrainian refugee, and the left is silent. They're silent. The media is not doing shit. And this is a longer one than I wanted to go, but this is, I'm outraged. I was a lot more livid earlier, but calm down a little bit. But it's the look on her face, the sheer terror of what the hell just happened. And this dude just walks off, takes his damn hoodie off and shirt off and walks off, blood going, and no one helped. And look at the demographic of the people who didn't help, that were on the train. What race was the majority on that train, and none of them helped. It speaks volumes. I'm telling you, avoid inner cities if you can. If you're, because this shit's going to happen, keep happening until, you have Trump's finally in a position to where he can go, you know what, I can do something about this. And he sends in the National Guard. Hey, let's fix crime. I got friends who are like, there's no crime in DC. Veteran buddies, and all that. Well, no, not anymore. Just because it's your hometown doesn't mean you're right on the matter. Because we all have our own eyes, unless your leftist media is lying to us, which they normally are. But this is just a sad situation, and anyone who's not outraged and not crying from mountaintops and screaming out loud that where's the outrage from the leftist media, where's the outrage, should be, ashamed of themselves, but they have no shame. You have no shame, because why? You're cowards. You're leftist Democrat cowards is what you are. And that's just the bottom line of it. And it's coming to a head, which is sad because, after 9/11, like I said, we were so united, and then shit like this, you get a piece of shit president in office, followed by, one who's like, hey, let's make a difference. And then followed by another piece of shit. And now that one is back in office again. I could care less about your opinion of the matter. The facts are the facts. Biden was a piece of shit, and so was Obama. And Hillary and the Clintons and the rest of the Klan can go to hell with them. This is what they've created. This is the monster they created. And, right now, we're left having to do the collateral damage and pick up the pieces from that collateral damage. And, enough is enough. At what point do Americans finally wake up and go, the media does not have our best interest at heart. They do not give a shit about American citizens. They don't care about reporting the truth. They don't care about giving you the facts. They care about whoever is paying them their salary to tell you what they want you to hear. Again, they're telling you what to eat, what to wear, where to go, what to drive, where to live, all of it. It's all fucking lies. So, wake up, people, because the media is your enemy. They are public enemy number one. It's Mike with one mic out. I'll catch you with the next one.